Hello guys, welcome back to TechDose, and in this video we will see the minimum operations required to reduce a given number x to 0. This is from LeetCode number 1658 and I will show you the dynamic programming solution using the top-down approach. So let us first read the problem statement. Now in this problem, you are given an integer array nums and an integer x. In one operation, you can either remove the leftmost or the rightmost element from the array nums and subtract its value from x. Note that this modifies the array for future operations. Return the minimum number of operations to reduce x to exactly 0 if it's possible, otherwise return -1. Okay, let us now look at an example in order to get a better understanding. Well, in this example, let us assume that this is our numbers array, which is 1, 1, 4, 2, 3, and this is our given number x, which is 5. Now we want to remove the numbers either from the left end or from the right end one by one, so that if we keep subtracting it to this number x, then this number x should go to 0, and this we need to do in minimum number of steps. So initially you are having two options, either to select this one or this 3. Let us select this one. Then we will remove this one from this array and we will subtract our given number x, and this will reduce to number 4. Now our array is 1, 4, 2, 3. So the left end is 1 and right end is 3. Now let us again take this number 1 and remove it. So if we remove it, then we will be subtracting it from this number 4 and this will become 3. So x is now 3 and our array is having 4, 2, 3. Now let us take this number 3 and remove it. So our left pointer is pointing to 4, our right pointer will be pointing to this 2. Since 3 is removed, so 3 will be subtracted and now our number x will become equals to 0. So we were successfully able to convert number x to 0 by subtracting the boundary elements in a certain sequence. So here we took 3 elements. Therefore, the number of operations required to convert x to 0 was equals to 3 in this case. Now there might be some other sequence which is present, which will be of shorter length and which will again reduce this x to 0. So if we are given the same array 1, 1, 4, 2, 3, and if we are given number x equals to 5, then our left pointer is pointing to this one, right pointer is pointing to 3. Now if we reduce this by removing 3, then our right pointer will point to 2 and our x value will now be equals to 2. And if we again pick this element 2, then we will again be reducing 2 minus 2, it will be 0. So our x got reduced to 0 by selecting only 2 elements, by removing only 2 elements from the end. Okay, so in this case we required only 2 steps in order to convert x to 0. So if there are some other possible steps as well, then we will be trying out all the possible paths, all the possible sequences, and we will have to return the minimum length of the sequence which will allow us to convert this number x to 0. Okay, so in this case, our goal is to remove the minimum number of elements from either end to make the sum equals to x, because we are basically subtracting the elements from the end from x so that it gets reduced to 0. This is as good as saying that you are removing the elements and you are adding those elements so that it becomes equals to x, right? So adding the boundary elements and making it equals to x is the same as converting this x to 0. Both are same problems. Okay. So in this case, there are basically 2 possible sequences of length 2 and 3. So the minimum is 2. Therefore, we will be returning 2 as our answer. The possible sequences are the first possible sequences. We select 1 and 1 from the left end and then we select 3 from the right end. The other possible sequences, we first select this 3 from the right end, so the array becomes of length 4. Now 2 is coming to the right end, so we can again select 2 and then we can convert this x to 0, right? So this is of minimum length, therefore we will be returning 2 here. Now if we take another example, let's say this is our nums array 5, 3, 1, 5 and our x value is equals to 1. Now in this case we want to convert this x to 0 by removing only the boundary elements. So the left boundary element is 5, right boundary element is 5. So if you take any element, then your x element will go below 0. It will go to some negative number. This is not allowed. Therefore, we cannot pick either the left element or the right element. Therefore, there is no possible sequence for converting this element x to 0. Therefore, in this case, since we are not able to convert this x to 0, we will be returning -1. So these are the two possible answers. If it is not possible, we will return -1. Otherwise, if it is possible, we will return the minimum length of the sequence. I hope you were able to understand the problem statement now. So how do we solve this problem? Well, we always have two options, either select the left end element or the right end element. Let us assume the same array 1, 1, 4, 2, 3. And if we take the number x equals to 5, then we have options to select from either left end or right end. So let us see at the recursion diagram. We can solve it easily by using recursion, either by selecting the left end or by selecting the right end. We will be trying out both these possibilities, and then we will be returning the minimum of either the left part or the right part. Okay. So if you are not able to understand it, then stick with this video, and at the end of the video you will be fully able to understand what I am telling. So initially we are having two options, 1 or 3. So we can select either 1 or 3. Okay. So this is our root node. At this node we can select either 1 or 3. So these red lines on the left hand side indicates that we are selecting the left end element. Left end element is this one. Okay, so if we select this one, then our array will get reduced to only 4 elements, and now the left element is 1 and right element is 3. So again, if we select the left element, which is 1, then again our array will reduce to only 3 elements. 4 to 3, left element is 4, right element is 3. But your x value is also decreasing. X value here was 5. When you select this one, x value here was 4. When you select this one, then x value here will become 3. Okay. Now, since you have value 3 here, so now you are having two options, either to select 4 or to select 3. If you select 4, then obviously your x value will go to a negative number, which is not allowed. Therefore, you cannot select this 4. Okay, you cannot go beyond this point and make selections. So here we will have to end. Otherwise, if you select this 3, then your x value will go to 0, which is the case you want. And since you were able to convert this x to 0, you will have to return the length of the sequence. So in this case, the length of the sequence will be nothing but the depth of the tree. Depth of the tree here will be equals to 3. Therefore, if you select 1, 1 and 3, then you will be able to reduce this x to 0. Okay. So your sequence length is 3. Therefore, you will be returning 3 to this one. Okay. Now, since you had tried to select this one from the left hand side, you have another option of selecting this 3. Okay. So you had initially selected 1, and now if you are taking this sub array, left end is 1, right end is 3. If you select this 3, the next value here will be equals to 1. Okay. So 3 is gone, and now your array is 1, 4, 2. Now from this 1, 4, 2, if you select this 1, then you can convert this x to 0. So it is possible. And the sequence length is again 3, which is 1, 3 and 1. Okay. So this will also return value 3. And we will take the minimum of either left or right. So minimum of 3, 3 will be 3. It will be returning 3. Okay. Now we had tried first by selecting this left end element. Now we will be selecting the right end element 3. So when we select 3, then initially our x value was equals to 5 here, and now since we select this 3, here the x value will be equals to 2. Okay. Now when we select this 3, our array will be 1, 1, 4, 2. Left pointer is at 1, right pointer is at 2. These are the two ends. Now we have two options, either to select 1 or 2. If we select this 1, then our x value here will be equals to 1. Now again, if we select this one, our array will reduce to 1, 4, 2. We have options between 1 and 2. If we select this one, then we will be able to convert this x to 0. And so we will be returning the sequence length, which is 3, 1, 1. This sequence length is of length 3. Okay. Now if we select this 2, then this x value will go beyond 0. And so this is not possible. We will be returning 3. Now we had tried by selecting 1. Now we will try by selecting the right hand side element, which is 2, from this array. Okay. So our array is 1, 1, 4, 2. Now if we select this 2, then our x value will again reduce to 0. So it is possible, and here the sequence length is only 2. We selected 3 and we now selected 2. So we will be this will be returning 2 here, and we will be taking the minimum of 3 comma 2. So this will be returning 2. We got 3 from the left call, 2 from the right call. We will be returning the minimum of both these calls as our answer. So it is possible to reduce this x to 0 by minimum sequence length of 2. Okay, so this is our answer. Now finding the minimum depth of leaf which forms the sum equals to x is basically our goal. In this case you can see that if you take this part, if we take this from this root node to the right child and again to the right child, then this is the minimum depth path which will be giving us sum x equals to 0. Okay, so we want to find the minimum depth of leaf which forms sum equals to x. This is our entire goal. Now here, since we are solving this problem by using simple recursion and we are not optimizing it, and at any point we are having basically two options, so this will be forming a binary tree, and in the worst case we will have exponential time complexity which will be 2 to the power n. So this is the upper bound. Okay, so I hope you understood the idea of solving by using recursion. Now let us see how do we apply recursion in order to solve this problem. Now in this case I will take the same nums array and x value. Now in this case I will take the same nums array as well as x value. Here we need to find the number of steps by selecting first the left element and then by selecting the right element. So if we are at a node, then we will be making the left call and we will be making the right call. Okay, and we will be returning the minimum of left comma right as our minimum sequence length in our answer. If it is not possible to form the sequence, then we will be returning -1. Okay, so these are the possibilities. Now here this is the simple approach, like returning the minimum of left call comma right call. Now if we are having this nums array, then obviously we will be having first of all two options, because we will be always having two ends. This is the left end and this is the right end. I will be pointing them by using the left and right pointers. Okay, so we will try basically two options. We will try to include the left pointer as well as we will try to exclude the left pointer. So excluding the left pointer means including this right value, right pointer. Okay, so these are the two possibilities which we will try. So we will make the left call and we will save its return value in this variable left. So I will write a recursion function which is named as solve. Now we are given this nums array which is this array. Okay, and since we are selecting the left element which is nothing but nums at L. Okay, so this left element is nums at L. Since we are selecting this element, therefore our x value will be reduced by the element value which we are selecting. Okay, and now since this is selected, this will be removed from our array and our array size will reduce, so our left pointer will get updated by one value. So in this case you can see that left value will be L plus 1. It will move one place to the right. Our right pointer will remain the same because we have selected the left pointer value. And since we are selecting an element, we need a counter which is needed to count the number of steps which we have done. It will keep track of what is the sequence length. For that reason I will take a count variable initially initialized to 0. And since we are starting, so at any point we will increment the count value by 1. This will always increment, either we select this left hand value or this right hand value, it doesn't matter. If we are selecting an element, then we will increment the count value. Okay, so this is the recursive function logic which we will be using for making the left call. Now we will be making the right call. So first of all we had assumed that we will first be selecting this left element. Now we will assume that we will not be selecting this, but we will be selecting this right element first. So when we select this right element first, we will be passing the nums array which is this entire array, and since we are selecting the right element which is nums at r, so our x value will be reduced by the value which we are selecting, which is x minus nums at r. Our left pointer will remain at the same position because that was not selected. Our array was 1 1 4 2 3 and this was our left value and this was our right value. Now since we are selecting the right value, our right pointer will increment, that is it will decrement to the left hand side. So this will basically be r minus 1. It will not be r plus 1, it will be r minus 1, because the right pointer will be moving to the left hand side. And now since we have selected an element, we will be incrementing the sequence length, which will be count plus 1. Okay, so this is the logic for making the right hand side call from a node. And once we get the result both from the left call as well as right call, we will be returning the minimum of left comma right. Okay, so this is the logic for solving this problem by using recursion. Since this recursive solution is exponential, we need to optimize it in order to improve the time complexity so that it will be polynomial time. Now, as I had shown you in the recursion diagram, this was a very small recursion diagram. Actually, there will be repeating subproblems and optimal substructure. Optimal substructure means if you are dividing a problem into subproblems, then solving the subproblems will be giving you the solution for the bigger problem. And repeating subproblems will also be present here. If you take some bigger examples, it will be much more clear. Now, we can solve this problem by using memoization. In this case, we will be using a data structure where we will be storing all the newly calculated values. Okay, all the newly calculated subproblems will be stored in a data structure. And then when this subproblem repeats, then we can see the data structure and we can return the answer. So a very useful data structure for applying memoization is basically a map. Okay, so I'll be using a map. In a map, you need a key in order to store the value. So how do we form the key? Now, if you remember from the previous videos, I have already told you that in order to form a key, you need to form a unique state. Now in this problem, what is a unique state? It can be a combination of variables or it can be anything. Okay, so in this case, since we were given an array, let's assume that we were given this array. Then we were using a left pointer as well as we were using a right pointer, and we were given a value of x. Okay, now we also had a count variable which will be counting the length of the sequence. So what combination of these variables can form a state? What combination of these variables will be forming a unique combination? In this case, if you take this left as well as if you take this right and if you take this count, then you will see that it will form a unique combination. But it will again not be forming a perfectly fine unique combination. You will have to insert stars in between. And why do we insert stars? Because let's say if your L value is 1, your R value is 12 and your count value is 3. And if we are converting this entire thing into a string, then what it will be? It will be 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now let us assume that your L value was 11 and not 1, and your R value was 2 and your count value was 3. So again, if you add them, that is concatenate them, then it will be 1, 1, 2, 3. So both these numbers are coming as same. So both these keys will be coming as same. But you can see that the L value here are different, R value here are different, but your count value is same. Okay. So these two are basically two different states. So in order to differentiate between two different states, we will have to insert stars in order to form unique keys. Okay. So this is how we will be making a key. This will be a string type. This key is a string type. Once we form a key, then we will be looking up into our map in order to find if it is already calculated. If this key is already calculated, then we will be returning its value. We will not be making further processing. Otherwise, if it is not calculated, then we will be applying the recursive approach, and when we get the answer, then we will be saving it into our map and we will return, so that whenever this subproblem is called again, we will just be looking at the table and we will be returning the answer. So I hope you understood this memoization approach. This will reduce the time complexity from exponential to polynomial. Okay. So let us now look at the code. This is the memoization code which I have written. In this case, we will be getting the nums array as well as the value x. And as I had already explained, we will be storing our answer in the answer variable. And if it is not possible to reduce x to 0, then we will be returning -1. Otherwise, we will be returning the sequence length. Okay, so here I am using this indicator 1e6, which is nothing but 10 to the power 6, as an indicator that it will not be possible to form this sequence. It will not be possible to reduce x to 0. Okay, now let us see the solve function. In the solve function, I have passed this nums array as well as I am passing this value x. Now the third variable is the left pointer, this is the right pointer. So if we are having let's say 1 1 4 2 3, then we will be having a left pointer as well as we will be having a right pointer. So these are the left and right pointers, and the count which will be keeping the count of the sequence length. Initially it will be 0. Okay. So I hope you are understanding it. Now in the recursive call, the first check will be if we are able to find the sum, that is if we are able to reduce this x to 0. If it is possible, then we will be returning the sequence length as our answer. Otherwise we will be making the boundary check. We will be checking if x is going beyond limits, that is it should not go to negative values. So we will be checking that, and also the left pointer should not go beyond the right pointer. So in case of out of bound cases, we will be returning 10 to the power 6, which will indicate that it is not possible to reduce this x to 0 in this path of recursion. Okay. Otherwise, if these two conditions passes, then we will be forming the key, as I had shown, that we will be converting to string left plus star plus right plus star plus x. Okay. So I had shown you that you will be writing count here, but actually you will be writing x. That was my mistake. Okay. So you can write x here. So this will be giving you a unique key. Now once you have got a unique key, we will be checking if it is present in our memoization array. If it is present, then we will be returning the answer. Otherwise, if it is not present, then we will be following the recursive approach of calculating the left call and the right call, and then taking the minimum of left comma right and storing it into our memoization key, that is in our map, and we will be returning it as our answer. Okay. So this is the entire simple code by using memoization for this problem. But we cannot solve this problem by using memoization or any DP approach, because this is polynomial. It is greater than order of n time. There is a much better algorithm for solving this problem which is in order of n time. I will be showing you this in the next video. So here this memoization will be giving you TLE, right? I just explained this problem in order to build an intuition for thinking which problem you can solve by using dynamic programming. I hope you were able to understand it. If you have any problem, then do comment below and I'll try to help you as soon as possible. Like and share our video and subscribe to our channel in order to watch more of these programming videos. See you in our next video. Thank you.